Welcome back to Under the Influence, where we explore astrology not as prediction, but as excavation of lived experience, unseen guidance, and soul memory. Today we enter a territory rarely spoken of in the language of relationship astrology, the IC-MC axis in composite charts. Most of what we hear about composites stays at the surface. Will they marry? Will it last? Is it fated? But what if we widen the lens? What if we saw relationships, our relationships, not just romantic, as living wormholes, carrying the memory of the past and the magnet of the future, encoded in this axis of root and crown, soil and sky, origin and destiny? Let's begin with the composite IC. This point is not just the home the relationship creates. It is the shared ancestral soil. It's the dream cave you both walked into together. Here lives the echoes of what your souls have been to each other across timelines. Sometimes it feels familiar, like slipping into a story you've already told. Other times it's haunted. You meet someone and feel the weight of unfinished vows, karmic knots, or ancestral entanglements surfacing as soon as you sit across from them. That is the IC speaking. It is the ground beneath your union, the memory field you cannot see but always feel. Now, the composite MC. This is not simply about career or even reputation. It is the future beacon of the relationship. What the union wants to become, the legacy it leaves behind. It's the question, what is this relationship here to teach the world just by existing? Sometimes it's quiet. Perhaps the relationship is about modeling tenderness in a world that has forgotten it. Sometimes it's loud. The connection pulls both people into visibility, into a joint mission, into co-creation that becomes bigger than either of them alone. Together, this axis is a wormhole. The IC whispers, "This is where you've been." The MC sings, "This is where you're going." And here, in this incarnation, the relationship becomes the bridge between the two. And here's the important part. This isn't only about lovers. Composites can be cast for friends, for collaborators, families, even whole groups, because any relationship is a field, and any field has roots and fruits. The IC tells us the soil we share. The MC shows us what grows out of it when we walk together. When a transit or lunation activates these axes, it can feel like time itself bends. The past rises, old dreams, familiar patterns, karmic bonds, and the future breaks through, visions of what could be, glimpses of what the relationship is destined to seed. It can feel overwhelming, uncanny, luminous, and it invites us to ask, what is this connection for? What has it been? What does it want to be? And how do we walk the line between memory and destiny with integrity? This is the deeper beauty of the composite chart. Not will they marry, but what is the soul story unfolding here? Because sometimes the answer is not partnership in the conventional sense. Sometimes the soul contract is brief but catalytic. Sometimes it's long, silent, steady. Sometimes it's a love that never becomes physical, but still reshapes your entire path. The IC-MC axis is where we can see the sacred architecture of that story. So that's our excavation today. The composite IC-MC is the wormhole of the relationship, a polarity of past soil and future beacon. Members on my Substack will take this further, sign by sign through the composite IC-MC, and then members will also learn about planets landing on those points, showing how certain relationships root in shared wounds or bloom into shared callings. But for now, I'll leave you with this question. Think of a connection in your life. Any connection. What soil does it feel like you share? And what fruit does it seem to be growing toward? That's the ICMC speaking. That is the wormhole.